Welcome to the first episode of Fort Worth Writers Bootcamp Facebook Live. I appreciate you joining us tonight. I want to introduce you to me and to Fort Worth Writers Bootcamp and Sleeping Panther Press. My name is Rachel Pilcher. I am the founder of Fort Worth Writers Bootcamp and the publisher at Sleeping Panther Press. My main job that I do, my day job, is as a high school librarian, but I also double as a writer. And I started Fort Worth Writers Bootcamp because I wanted to be able to continue to encourage myself to write and to help other people with the skills that I learned as an English teacher to become better writers. And I'm hoping that with these live videos that I can provide some extra information for you and to be able to give you some brief knowledge and some help in getting your writing started, in getting things done the way that it needs to be done for your writing, and to also, just improve the way that you get your writing done. And Fort Worth Writers Bootcamp began in 2014. And I originally had an office with access to a conference table and classes that I could teach as often as I could. And I was able to continue that for a while, and then I moved to a bookstore after a couple of years, and it was called The Last Word. And then I started freelancing out of other groups, out of other buildings. And now I'm going to try to do as much as I can online to be able to get everything out that we need to be able to do for Fort Worth Writers Bootcamp. And also publish through Sleeping Panther Press. So I am currently trying to make sure that everybody is able to get their writing that they need to do, because I do believe that everybody has a story, and the stories that people can tell sometimes need to be told in writing form. And I'm hoping that with the online sessions that we're going to be able to do that. I would like to meet at least every other Sunday, so probably twice a month. The next one being May 6th, so I'll remind you at the end of this Facebook Live that it'll be on May 6th. Hi Jamie, I just want to say hi to you. Thank you for joining me, and I really appreciate you coming on board and watching the video. And I wanted to take a moment to also remind those of you who are writers that have stories, short stories, poetry, creative nonfiction, anything that you're writing. I do have a literary journal that I publish called Panther City Review. The deadline for Panther City Review is April 29th at 11:59 p.m. April 29th is really easy. If you forget it, just remember it's Willie Nelson's birthday. Makes it really easy for me to remember. And to be able to get things submitted in that time, that is next Sunday at midnight. I look forward to reading some of your work and to be able to see if it's going to be something that we would love to include in Panther City Review. To register for that, to submit your work, you go to panthercityreview.com. Very simple. So some of the topics that I plan on discussing whenever I do these Facebook Lives every couple of weeks is I'd like to discuss publishing, because I know many of y'all are interested in publishing. Different ways to cope with writer's block. It's always a very useful thing that every writer ends up going through at some point. There's some sort of writer's block, but there are strategies that you can use to get around that. I'd like to talk about genre writing and learning how to self-edit. There are many things that you can do that before you even send your work off to an editor that you would be able to get them to do. And creativity coaching, because I'm kind of stepping my toes into creativity coaching. I've been doing it for a little while, and it's a fun thing to do. I just saw that Layla joined. Thank you for joining, Layla. It's good to see you. And I'm hoping that if there are topics that y'all are interested in, feel free, even after this Facebook video concludes, I will be going back and reading and answering any questions that you may have, and to be able to check to see if there's anything that hey, the back lady, to check if there's anything that might be able to interest you in different topics. So anything that you're interested in, definitely throw that out there, because I want to be able to help y'all improve in your writing, and the only way I can do that is if I know what it is that you want help with. So if there are any questions, I know we haven't been on for very long, but I wanted to make sure that I'm here, that I'm introducing myself to you. I am always really nervous whenever I'm on video. See, Debbie just joined us. Hi, Debbie. But I want to make myself a little more apt to presenting myself through Facebook Live, because I am going to be doing online teaching, and I have to record myself for that. It'll be a little different because at least there's an audience here. I know that y'all are watching, but next time, whenever I'm doing my recording for my classes that I'm going to be teaching, there's not going to be anybody watching, but y'all are going to keep me on my toes and be able to make sure that I am able to answer your questions. So I know I have a couple of y'all online right now. It looks like I have 8 viewing. Well, it dropped down to 7 just now. But if y'all have any questions about writing that you'd like for me to answer, I would be very happy to answer anything that you have. As I said earlier, I know a couple of y'all joined a little late, but I do have a deadline coming up for Panther City Review 2018. The deadline is April 29th, and Willie Nelson's birthday, 11:59 p.m. is the deadline time. That is a week from today, and I would love for you to be able to submit your work to Panther City Review, and I would like to, if you have any questions about what we're looking for, I can tell you that one of the things that I really do appreciate is, I know several people have asked, like, well, I've been working on something, can I just send that to you? And I really prefer, whenever you send things for Panther City Review, for it to be a polished piece of work. So if you have had it edited, if you're in a critique group, which I highly encourage, critique groups are wonderful to be able to get your work edited. But if you have had it looked at, you've gone over it many times, and it is, in your mind, as perfect as it possibly can be, then yes, send it. The way that most literary journals work is they want your most polished, beautiful piece of work that you can present to them. They're not going to do a lot of heavy editing on your work, so they're going to look at what you have and say, okay, this is what we have to work with, and this is what is going to be published if we choose to publish this. Do we want this to be what we want our work represented as? And if it's not where it needs to be, if it needs, extra editing, if it even has, quotation marks that are in the wrong place, or it's missing quotation marks, that will ding you with a lot of literary journals. So definitely make sure whenever you submit to anyone, not even just me, but to anyone, that you have your work as perfect as it can be. So any questions out there? Just kind of pause a bit. So I know this was a nice little test for me, because I do have a couple of you out there watching, and it looks like there are 9 that are on there, possibly 10. It's going up a little bit, but I am going to go ahead and sign out for the evening. But like I said, if y'all have any questions, if y'all have any topics that you want discussed in future weeks, the next time that we're going to be live is going to be on May 6th at 6 o'clock. That's a Sunday. Does Sundays at 6 work? That's the other question. I know a lot of writers groups and different people that come online to talk about writing. They'll do it in the middle of the week at noon, or they'll do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I'm trying to find a good time that'll work with working writers, because I'm a working writer. I work as a librarian, as I said earlier, and they probably wouldn't appreciate it if I did this kind of work at school. I don't think I could get away with that. But I'm hoping that 6 o'clock is a good time. It's kind of right in the middle for anybody that's not in Central Time. They can join a little bit earlier, a little bit later, and be able to get on there. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to post. Otherwise, I think I will sign out for today. I appreciate you joining me, and I will see y'all on May the 6th. And don't forget Panther City Review, panthercityreview.com. Have a great evening.